There are pretty curtains. Now he starts to draw the attention of the fly by describing the beauty of the bed and the room, saying that there were pretty curtains drawn around the now that means there were very beautiful curtains drawn around. There were very beautiful curtains present all over, and the sheets are very fine and thin. That means the sheets were very fine and thin to look at. That means here the spider is talking about the bed sheets and the curtains. They were very thin, very beautiful to look at. And if you like to rest a while, I'll snugly tuck you in. Now he says that if you want to really rest for some time at my place, I will snugly tuck you in. That means I will tightly hold on you, and then under my head. Now it says I'll snugly tuck you in me. I'll actually tightly hold you and then put you over there and on the bed. Oh no, said the little fly. Now this is the second response that was given by the fly, saying, "Oh no, said the little fly, for I have often heard it said, they never wake again who sleep upon your bed." Now the fly was knowing this very well, and that is why it replied also in the same manner, saying that, "Oh no, said the little fly, I have often heard this very well." That means I know this very well, that whosoever comes and sleeps on your bed, that means whosoever comes and sleeps on your bed never ever gets up again. That is why it says, for I have often heard it said, they never wake up again who sleep upon your little bed. That means I know this very well, that the ones who sleep upon your little bed, they are the ones who are never ever able to get up again. Said the little cunning spider to the fly. Now again, the spider is using different tactics. So this is the third trick that was used by the spider to catch the attention of the fly. So what does the spider say to the fly is, that is, said the cunning spider to the fly that, "Dear friend, what can I do?" Now it says, "Dear friend, what can I do to prove the warm affection I've always felt for you?" Now here the fly says that, what can I do for you to prove that I have got so much warm affection in my heart and which I've always felt for you? I have within my pantry good store of all that's nice. Now it also says that in my pantry, that is the store of food, I have very good store of all that's very nice to have, and I'm sure you're welcome. You will see to take a slice. Now it says that I'm really very sure that you are very welcome, that, and moreover you're very welcome to my place, and you will definitely like to have a slice of whatever is present at my food store to eat. Now this is the reply that was again given by the fly, saying, "Oh no, said the little fly, kind sir, that cannot be. I've heard what's in your pantry and I do not wish to see." Now the fly says, "I really do not wish to see what is there in your pantry, because I know this very well, that what is present in your pantry." What was present in the pantry? They were all dead, you can say, the leftovers of the dead bodies, or you can say of those insects and whatever was caught by the spider. "Sweet creature," said the spider, "you're witty and you're wise." Now the spider says that you're such a sweet creature and you're really a witty, intelligent, and you're a very wise person. "How handsome are your gauzy wings." Now the spider says, it says that the wings of the spider were very handsome and very light to look at. "How brilliant are your eyes." And then the spider says that your eyes are also very brilliant to look at. "I have a little looking glass upon my parlor shelf. If you'll step in one moment, dear, you shall behold yourself." Now the spider again says that in my parlor shelf I have a very beautiful looking glass. What is a looking glass? A mirror on my parlor shelf. If you will step in one moment, that means if you get inside my parlor for one moment, you will see yourself. You will be able to see yourself. Behold yourself means see yourself. Now, why is this spider saying that you'll be able to see yourself is because he is trying to tell the fly that you are so very beautiful and you yourself do not know about your beauty. And when you will get into my parlor, you will get to see on the parlor shelf there is a beautiful mirror placed over there, and then you will realize how beautiful you actually are. I thank you, gentle self. This is the reply that was given by the spider. I thank you, gentle self, said she, for what you are pleased to say, for what you are pleased to say, and bidding you good morning now. I'll call another day. Now here, what the fly says is that I really thank you, gentle sir, for what all things you have said for me, for all those good words that you used to describe my beauty. Now here the fly says, for what you are pleased to say, and bidding you good morning now. Now here the fly says that I know that you are really happy to hear this, so therefore the fly bids him good morning, bids the fly good morning, and says, I'll call another day. That means I'll come some other day. Now the spider turned him round about. Now what did the spider do is the spider turned him round about. It's turned, that means it was standing and then it turned himself and went into his den. Now the spider went inside the den. The den here refers to the web. For well he knew the silly fly would soon be back again, because he knew this very well that the silly fly is going to get back very soon. So he wove a subtle net, he wove a very fine web in a little corner sly in a secret corner of his room, and set his table ready to dine upon the fly. And then he has set his table ready to dine upon the fly. Now all these things, when you see, like imagining a particular animated, or you can say an animal, and who was like having those kinds of amenities which a human being usually have, like for example talking about a bed or a pantry, or you're talking about a dining table, a mirror, a looking glass. All these things are actually not present in a normal in an animal's place, but these things have been made to show over here so as to present that particular spider as a human being. That means there is actually a kind of a personification done of the animals, where they are actually trying to represent that they are actually carrying the characteristics of human beings. So basically it's actually trying to convey a message to us that we human beings also do in the same manner, and we human beings are also of the same kind, among whom few of the people in this world are just like spider and few of them are just like the fly. So it says, so when he has set his dining table to dine upon the fly, then he came out his door again. Then he came out of his door again, and in a happy mood he started to sing. Sing what? A song which was again praising the fly, saying, come hither, pretty fly, come here, pretty fly, with the pearl and silver wing, with the polish and silvery kind of wings. Your robes are green and purple. Your robes here refer to the outer appearance of the fly, so it looked like greenish and purplish in shade. There's a crest upon your head, and then crest here refers to, actually basically it says for the crown. So there was a crown upon the head of the fly. And your eyes are like the diamond, right? And your eyes are absolutely as bright as a diamond, but mine are as dull as lead, and my eyes are as dull as lead. That means what he says is that my eyes, if we talk about them, they are absolutely as dull as lead. Now here you are talking about your eyes are as light diamond bright. Now this is what actually the spider is trying to do, is he's trying to elaborate and explain the beauty of the fly, describing the eyes to be very beautiful, and moreover describing his own eyes to be as dull as lead. Alas, alas, how very soon the silly little fly, hearing his really flattering words, came slowly flitting by. Now ultimately these were the different words which were actually so very impressive that the fly really got attracted towards it, And then ultimately, this silly little foolish fly came near the den of the spider, hearing his willy flattering words. Willy flattering words means, of course, the fly was really feeling very happy somewhere inside a corner of her heart that it is being praised, and moreover it looked so very beautiful and all those words. So that's why hearing his willy flattering words came slowly near the den of the spider. Flitting by means flying over there. With buzzing wings, she hung aloft. Now, buzzing wings, she was hanging over there. Hung aloft means she was hanging over there. That means she was flying over there only, near the den of the spider. And then nearer and nearer drew, thinking only of her brilliant eyes. And then it went near and nearer to the spider's den, just thinking about her own beautiful brilliant eyes and green and purple hue. And then it was thinking about the greenish and the purplish color which was described by the spider, thinking only of her crested head, poor foolish thing. Now thinking about her crested head which was described by the spider again, the poor foolish thing went on nearer and nearer to the web. At last, now up jumped the cunning spider. Now ultimately, the spider had the plan, and the plan was that to catch the fly. So up jumped the cunning spider and fiercely held her fast, and then held that particular fly very quickly, dragged her up his winding stair. And then you may imagine that this is such a kind of a beautiful personification. Like, imagine a fly is dead, and then a spider is actually pulling it up through its winding stairs. And then it's all a kind of a beautiful kind of a personification done over here. So he dragged her up his winding stair into his dismal den. Into his dismal den means it actually refers to the gloominess or the sadness that was present in his place within his little parlor. But she never came out again. But now, when for the first time it was taken into the parlor or the web of that particular spider, it ultimately never ever came out of it. And now this is the message that has been conveyed to us as, and now, dear little children who may the story read, it's actually a short tale, so it says, who are all those who are reading this story, to idle silly flattering words I pray you never give heed. That means to those idle, useless, silly kind of flattering words you must never ever pay heed to. Pay heed to means pay attention to. Unto an evil counselor close heart and ear and eye, and take a lesson from the tale of the spider and the fly. That means the last stanza, it is actually trying to give a message to all the children that they should never pay heed to idle, silly, flattering words of an evil counseling. Unto an evil counselor means an evil kind of a counselor who is using those flattering words. They should thus learn a lesson. Therefore, they must learn a lesson, take a lesson from this tale, never to be carried away by praisers. That means they must never ever be carried away by the ones who all the time keep on praising them. So therefore, in this poem, we'll get to know only there is one specific theme in the poem, that is the power of flattery, and one should not get infected or impacted by the power of flattery.